Uh-oh. The Browns versus Cowboys coaches. And it ain't nobody, I mean nobody better than to talk ball with this no other than the special guest, Henny.
Yeah. Man.
Yes, indeed, man. We got Henny the Moore in the house. What's up with it, Henny, man? Let everybody know what you coming with today, big brother.
Man, we finna sit here and talk some numbers, man. You know, I'm the numbers guy. And, you know, I'm trying to find a path to victory for our Dallas Cowboys so we can start this 2024 season on the right path, man. So we put some stuff together. We're going to look at some of these coaches, some of these matchups, and see if we can learn from history about how to overcome the Browns come Sunday, man.
Yeah, so you already said, man, you said you let it out. You said, hey, boss, I'm going to save it for the show. Well, the show is here. What's on your mind?
Now, listen, bro. I'm just saying, man, like, I was concerned for a while about the Cleveland Browns. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're great paper champions right now when I look at them up and down. They got a complete defense on paper. You know, they got probably one of the best offensive units on paper that we'll see fielded all year. But, you know, man, if you cut off the head of the snake, the body will die. And right now, that head of the snake already got brain cancer. So it's already on the way out. You know, we just got to give it a little push. So I went from being extremely concerned about this game, which I still would think would be tough. But I can see the Dallas Cowboys winning this game, and I'm going to tell y'all how it's going to happen.
Yeah, we all want to hear this. I promise you, we all want to hear this, big brother. Yeah, man. So, but the show has started, so start telling us now, bro. I want to hear it,
man. So you really want to know? It's gonna sound so simple that you're gonna think I'm out here playing with y'all. But the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this matchup because of Dak Prescott. Because this is a matchup that is tailor-made for Dak Prescott's skill set, and it's going to play right into the hand of what the Dallas Cowboys like to do offensively from a schematic standpoint. So, do you want me to? We're gonna wait till this calm down so I can share these graphics with y'all. But I'm gonna walk y'all through this. I'm gonna take y'all hand and walk y'all through this step by step of why this is gonna work out for us.
All right, man. So I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. I'm gonna handle some things on the back end, and by the time we start the show, or by the time we come back, it's gonna be showtime. Showtime. We'll be right back.
Indeed, brother.
Let's go. Good to be back with my boy Henny, man. Good to be back. That's how you know it's football season. All right. Yeah. All right, man. Hey, let's get down to it, big dog.
Indeed, brother. Let's get into it, man.
All right, so you said you was gonna start showing some graphics, right?
Well, really, pretty much this is the statistics I put together. So give me 2 seconds to share my screen, and we'll go down it. I'll talk with y'all about what I have down there, then I explain the context. So, you know, I never like giving people numbers without context that it don't make no sense when you do it like that.
Yeah. Well,
right, so
I got it ready to go. But before we kind of, go ahead, you got it.
Hold on.
So, why you doing that? Who you starting with? Ken Dorsey?
We're gonna always start with Ken Dorsey.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so we're gonna always start with Ken Dorsey over here in the Dallas Cowboys Because listen, Ken Dorsey was pretty much the scapegoat and the sacrificial lamb for the Buffalo Bills last year. Because you got to remember, Josh Allen is the golden child. They love Josh Allen. He still somehow got MVP votes, despite the fact he led the NFL in turnovers.
Yeah.
So like they love Josh Allen.
Man,
so if anything goes wrong with Josh Allen, it's not Josh Allen's fault. Somebody else is at
the blame.
Fault. Yeah, somebody else is at fault for the things that happened with Josh Allen. And just so happened this time around, it was Ken Dorsey. They loved Ken Dorsey and his offensive philosophy in 2022. But when Josh Allen, who is known to turn the ball over, started turning the ball over, it had to be the play caller. It had to be the scheme. It was too much. It was too complicated. So he had to fall on the sword for Josh Allen so he could keep his perfectly good reputation out there being an elite quarterback, despite he's giving the ball away like charity. So Ken Dorsey, what you need to know about him is that Ken Dorsey offensive system relies on pretty much two concepts in the passing game and then two main staples in his running game. Now, for the passing game, Ken Dorsey runs a heavy RPO style offense, right? Think to the Philadelphia Eagle offense. What we criticize Jalen Hurts for doing, what we seen Josh Allen doing a majority of the year last year. Ken Dorsey loves to implement the RPO style offense, and pretty much what he does is he puts the linebackers into conflict, into either having to come down and fill the hole in the run game or staying in the passing lane to defend the pass. Because usually this is paired with either a slant or a post or a skinny post behind it, right? So either A, if you get the numbers in the box that you like, the light box, you can hand the ball off to the running back. If somebody comes down and fills the hole and they have numbers in the passing game, you can pull it and chunk the ball in the vacant area behind the linebacker. So that's one of the staples within his offense is the RPO style passing attack.
Gotcha. Hold on. Before you keep going, we got the OC in the building. OC, do you got any opinions on Ken Dorsey before he continue?
I think that Ken Dorsey, man, if we think back to even his career, starting off knowing him with the Miami Hurricanes and being around great athletes and seeing how these were used in space, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of his mode of operation. He wants to get athletes in space, as you put it, Boss Cowboy, athletes on stiffs, to be in particular. Now, the conundrum about what he does is really based upon having an athletic quarterback and having some good athletes around him and a solid running game. However, this can be neutralized if you have the athletes and the pass rushers to neutralize the quarterback and force the quarterback to give the ball up before he wants to give the ball up. And if you have strong athletic safeties that can cover downfield and kind of play in no man's land, which in this defense against this offense, when they go to the RPO, you have to have the ability to play well in space. So that'll be my content about him just starting off. But you guys are doing great. Go right ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate that vote of confidence. I know the OC agree with me. I'm on the right track. So let's continue with the next staple within his offense. And it's something that we have been pulling our hair out about in Dallas for years. Mm-hmm. You want to take a guess of what it is, boss?
Pulling our hair out?
Yeah, like what offensive scheme did we pull our hair out about? Option routes.
You see how fast I put that together?
Yep. Because guess what? Outside of the RPO, he runs a large variety of option routes, and it's just like with Kellen Moore. When it works, it's almost indefensible.
Let me explain option routes real quick before you continue to break down the concepts of what we're getting ready to see. Likely, right? I just want to explain it because we got a lot of new people, right? And they don't remember the days of us fighting this against this with Kellen. So option routes is basically where, and I'm gonna explain this very layman's, right? Where the receiver, instead of having a designated route, he has option based on what the defense is doing, right? The key to the option routes working, it stems from the digit system, which is the ancient way of explaining option routes, right? So the key to it really working is the quarterback and the receiver got to read the defense the same way. If they see it the same way, what happens is you can anticipate better and you can beat teams with timing. So that's what Hen is talking about. Go ahead, Hen.
Correct.
And before you continue, Hen, I want to add something that I think is super important to bring out more context to what you're saying. The passing game coordinator and the guy that's working with those receivers is none other, Boss Cowboy. You'll get a kick out of this than Chad O'Shea.
Oh,
Chad
Lord.
O'Shea was with us at the University of Houston when we were there.
Yeah.
His dad is a late, great trainer, and not late, he's still living.
Doc O'Shea.
A living legend. Doc O'Shea, right?
Yeah.
And so Chad O'Shea has always been a more of a detailed-orientated type of guy and more of kind of a needler, if I can put it that way. He won 3 championships coaching underneath Bill Belichick with the Patriots, okay? So he's been in the league for 21 years. So this guy, and I know we've had the opportunity to know him personally, obviously playing underneath him, but he's a precision dude. He's a timing dude. He's an IQ type of dude.
Right.
And so playing in this system, he's going to have these guys and making sure that the receivers are seeing exactly what the quarterback is anticipating, which is what made him so successful coaching underneath Bill Belichick and Tom Brady with less inferior athletes in some of the competition because they beat you with precision. But go ahead, Henny.
Nah, like y'all added some great context to all that, man, because that all is going to play a part in what we're going with this next. Because remember, like we said, because you're able to pretty much change your route on the fly depending on what the defense shows you. So let's say that the defense is shaded. Let's say you got an option route. Let's say the defense is shaded on the inside of the wide receiver. Well, you should have an outbreaking route that you can run to beat the leverage on that coverage, right? And vice versa. Let's say that the defender is shaded on the outside. Well, there should be an in-breaking route that you can get to beat the leverage on that coverage, depending on what is being shown by the defensive front. So that's why I say it gives you a multitude of answers when you're going up against the complex defenses in National Football League. But on the reverse and on the flip side, it is also hard to get down because your quarterback and the wide receiver have to see it the same way at the same time.
Right.
And, you know, those were some of the reasons why Dak Prescott himself had a multitude of interceptions under the Kellen Moore administration.
Facts.
Like not all the time was his own Dak. Like sometimes
it was on the receivers.
Yeah, like sometimes Dak made the right read, you know, based on the coverage that was presented by the defense.
Facts.
But the wide receiver did not see it the same way.
Right.
And
Dak would throw it with anticipation, like he's supposed to, trusting that the receivers go be in the right place, and sometimes they were not.
Right, because remember, if you throw the ball with anticipation and the wide receiver's not there, you're probably going to hit a defender in the belly with the football.
Come back to the camera real quick, just real quick, Henny. I want to talk some ball with you.
All right, go ahead. Let me take this down real quick.
Yeah, we go get back into the concepts. I want to talk a little ball with you and OC real quick. Especially, I just want to pause at them option routes and talk some ball with both of y'all. This is perfectly playing into Zimmer. If we now, because the show is about coaches, right? So since we talking about coaches, the edge is Zimmer. Because see, the teams that give option routes problems are the ones that show pre-snap disguises. That's the key to confusing a system based on option routes.
Agreed.
So sometimes it's not about trying to trick the quarterback. After a quarterback has been quarterbacking for a while, it becomes harder to fool him. But you can fool his weapons. So we know that Zimmer defense is built on pre-snap disguises. A bunch of movement post-snap. And that plays into the hands of Mike. What's y'all thoughts on that? I'm gonna start with you, Hen.
I completely agree with you from top to bottom, because remember, that's what got us in trouble against teams like the 49ers. You know, like you can like you mentioned very eloquently. Once you play quarterback for a long enough time, there's not too much things they can do to disguise the coverage they're in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're implementing motion, when you can use your cadence to sort of get a tick on what they're doing. You might see a slight movement forward from a linebacker, the hint that they're actually coming and not falling back in coverage. So there's things that you play quarterback in the National Football League long enough that you can pretty much get a tick for what's going on defensively. But wide receivers aren't reading it the same way. Right. They don't have time. They don't have time to read the entire field like the quarterback does. So there are times where the wide receiver thinks that he's going to get this inside leverage, and it's not there. They're actually playing outside leverage. So they're going to end up running into the defender, or being able to get undercut, because they're not running the correct route based on what they actually thought was going on.
OC.
He said, "Yeah, showing one thing but doing another."
Yeah, man. So look, great content. First of all, fantastic conversation. I love this kind of stuff. So, in my humble opinion, when I think about option routes, and I think about Zimmer. Zimmer is a disciplined type coach, right? He's gonna go into his cover too, but also one of the things, and you kind of appreciate this, boss, especially coming from me, right? You being a DB, right? He can show cover too, boss, but then he can backpedal to the deep third, into a cover three, so he can disguise. To your point, right? Also, he can force, this is in my opinion, and this is just my research and kind of thinking about how would you defend inside option routes. And this came from a conversation we had last year, okay? If you think about this, here's another way that you can actually stop the option routes. You can force the offense to actually play towards your strengths, right? You can bring pressure from one particular, you can overload pressure. So you can force them, you can cut the field in half. You can force them to make a read towards your strength, okay?
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yes.
Also by DBs, by going into your dime packages and having more coverage DBs on the field, you can limit openings in your zones by doing that as well. So, there's a multitude of things that you can do to defend option routes. I think the biggest caveat in the kind of joker or ace that our coordinator will use is pressure from different angles. That's what I think he's going to do. I think he's going to move Micah Parsons around. He's going to bring Micah from unsuspecting places to create havoc and make the quarterback get rid of the football before he wants to get rid of the football. That's my opinion.
We got a super chat.
Can I add this? Oh, go ahead.
All right. My boy Wee Woo with the super chat. Appreciate it, man. This get us a chance to address this, and I still want to hear what you was getting ready to say, Henny. He said, I think it's going to be hard to confuse Coop as well. I agree. Like, in terms of option routes, yeah, he not going to misread it. Real talk. He not going to misread it. Not Amari. Amari one of them.
Right.
Like, put it like this. You didn't start seeing problems of Kellen Moore's system until Amari was gone.
True. Very true. But the only thing I was going to say is, do you remember our boy Tavon Austin, right?
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboy, played on multiple NFL teams.
Yeah. He struggled.
He said that Ken Dorsey's system was the most complicated system that he ever had to learn.
Yeah. And
this is a guy that played under Kellen Moore, who also ran an option route system. This is a guy that played all over the NFL. If I'm not mistaken, he's been on at least five 6 teams in the NFL over his time, and that says a lot about the nuances and how hard it is to pick up on it. Because how a lot of people describe Ken Dorsey's offense on the way out of Buffalo was complicated but predictable. Those were the exact words that they used to describe what Ken Dorsey was doing. Complicated to learn, but predictable in what they're getting to, because hell, I can pretty much dictate what you're going to do by my formations and by how I line up. So like, you only going to run a set number of plays based on the coverage I present to you. So it's not like you really had answers like you were pointing to earlier. I can dictate to you what you're going to do just based off what I'm doing. If I'm bringing pressure from over here, your hot's over here. You're not really audibling out of anything with these option routes. You already know what the set plays are, so I can bring the pressure or simulate the pressure, force you to the check down, come up and make the tackle, and now you're punting.
Right, exactly. So let's sum this up and we'll move to the other coaches. Edge, I'm gonna ask Edge, out of this defensive coaching war, who has the edge? I told y'all who I think got the edge. Who got the edge, OC?
I'm going with our defensive coordinator, man, because of his years of experience and just the amount of games that he's coached. I don't think he's like a veteran quarterback. You're not gonna show him nothing offensively speaking. He has not seen. So,
right.
So edge Cowboys.
Him.
We have the edge at defensive coordinator, not just based off the X's and O's, but Dak Prescott has destroyed plenty of Jim Schwartz's defenses over the years. He was the defensive.
Wait, no. We doing one at a time. We go on to Schwartz next.
Oh, okay.
No. We was finishing out Ken Dorsey versus Zimmer.
Oh, Ken Dorsey versus Zim. Oh,
yeah, that's what we was doing. Yeah, but you was gonna slaughter. But you.
I'm sorry, I got too far ahead of myself, man.
Just a little bit. That's the next one.
I'll take Zim over Ken Dorsey because, man, listen, he has the kind of defense and personnel to give an option route based offense all kind of trouble, because you got to play the game of where Michael Parsons is lining up. You got to play the game of is Eric Kendricks falling back in coverage or is he blitzing? Is the Morgan Overshawn falling back in coverage or is he blitzing? Right? You don't really know, especially when they get into double A gap looks. So then you don't really know if it's going to be man or zone, because they can also hide that pretty well for what I've seen from Zimmer in the past. So I'll give the edge to Zimmer over Ken Dorsey.
And since you brought that up, a lot of people not talking about that there's also a tackle issue. They having some injury concerns that nobody really talking about. Do you have the injury report?
I just seen it on Twitter, so I can pull it up in 2 seconds.
All right. Because we want to obviously look at Wiltz, because he's been very questionable. I'm going to play this clip. It came from Shan and RJ real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. Pull that up.
Go ahead.
While you looking that up, because then I want to obviously hear about Wiltz, and then we'll go to the defense real quick. But y'all check this out.
I think it's largely dependent on what Deshaun is, but it's a pretty talented and loaded roster. The defense ranked number 1 in the NFL last.
Hold on. No. Wrong. Let me fix it. I got it wrong. Here we go. There we go.
It looks like Jack Conklin would have to step in and play left tackle if he's not able to go, but Conklin's coming off of a big knee injury. What exactly is the plan at left tackle, and what do you think the chances are that Wills actually goes in this game?
It's hard to say. We haven't seen Wills out there yet on the practice field, but Jack hasn't been out there much either. So I don't know if when we get out there today, if Jed's going to be out there practicing and in his spot at left tackle. I would be kind of surprised if it's going to go that way because Jack's been out there practicing for the past couple of days at least, maybe 3 days or so, coming off of his knee injury. So one of those guys I think will be out there. Right now it looks like Jack has the inside track for that. just because we haven't seen Jed yet.
Browns beat writer Mary Kay Cabot joining us here.
What is looking like on the injury report with Wilkes?
All right, so they had multiple guys limited. David Bell was limited with a quad. Conklin was limited with a knee. Jordan Hicks limited with a calf. Maurice Hurst, defensive tackle, limited with a hamstring. Jerry Jeudy was a full participant with a knee. Quentin Jefferson, defensive tackle, was limited with an Achilles. Jock was a full participant with his hand. Dalvin Tomlinson, limited with a knee. Nathaniel Watson, limited with a quad. Jed Willis, who they were just talking about in the clip, limited with a knee. Alex Wright, elbow, full participant.
Gotcha. So he go play. Jedrick Wilson is go play. All right. But that gives us a major edge too. Major edge. And a lot of people not talking about that. They got one tackle coming off of ACL. Then you got Willis, who hardly had any training camp. That's big edge to the Cowboys. Big edge. Big edge to the So right now, and I think I'm not drinking no Kool-Aid on this, you got to get an edge to the defense. Am I tripping?
Nah. You should get the edge to the defense, because even if they were healthy, like, who was on that team is single-handedly stopping Michael Parsons, especially stopping Michael Parsons where there are going to be situations you don't even know he's coming.
Right.
So I think the defense had an edge over this offense anyway. And can we be 1,000% honest?
Yeah, please.
This was not a damn good offense to begin with. There's a reason they have a brand new offensive coordinator. Deshaun Watson has been listen, we hear Deshaun Watson's name. We remember what he did at Clemson. We remember his run in Houston. Deshaun Watson has been a below average quarterback for the last 2 years. Listen, I don't know how y'all did grading scales in college or in high school where y'all was at, but a 40 is an F where I'm from. This man graded out as a 40 in his QBR both years. He got F's both years. He is not bringing that progress report home to his mama and getting no allowance money. So what I'm trying to tell you is Deshaun Watson has not played up to his contract, or has he played like a starting quarterback in the National Football League. And you can't put it on injury, because guess what? Dak Prescott came back from a broken hand. He ain't played that damn bad.
Man, wait, you might be going too far, bro.
I'm just saying that Dak Prescott came back from a broken hand, and he was not playing as bad as Deshaun Watson.
Hold on real quick. Wait. Let me measure what you said real quick. Just real quick. Hold on.
Way it gets started, and if it turns into somewhat of a shootout the way the last meeting did.
What is Deshaun Watson now? Like, I don't think anybody would say that he's met expectations there. Is there do they see him resurrecting his career the way that he was in Houston and what they expected to get?
Well, here's the thing about Deshaun Watson. I think people have a tendency to forget that he was injured most of last season. It was in week 3 where he first suffered the shoulder injury. It was first diagnosed as a rotator cuff. Later on, after he suffered the fractured shoulder and underwent surgery, I did ask him, he alluded to the fact that he had been playing on this fractured shoulder for a couple of games, and I asked him, is it possible he could have fractured it all the way back in week 3? And he said, it's possible. Now, the Browns have maintained that he fractured the shoulder on November 12th against the Baltimore Ravens, but it's probably a little bit hard to say how it all went down in there. But nevertheless, he was injured almost the whole entire season. And so I don't think people can really judge his performance based on much of what we saw last year. So,
Hold on. I wish I could ask her a question. Was he hurt? Was he hurt the year before? He was sorry then too.
Wait. In my opinion, we still got to measure that just a little bit, because I sense danger. With this dude. The reason being is because the year before, remember that he had to come straight out of that suspension. So he didn't have the OTAs. He didn't have no training. They basically threw that dude out there.
I mean, did he have it this year? Because the last time I checked, he was rehabbing his arm still. So it's not like he's starting from a positive standpoint. He ain't been healthy, missing practice still. So where is this positive momentum for Deshaun Watson and a new system?
I'm just saying there's potential danger. This is why I'm saying that, and hear me out. It's because they basically are putting a lot of resources to try to basically bring him back to the days of the Texans. So it to me go depend on how much he's ready from that shoulder. That's what it's gonna depend on. Even Dorsey is here for him. This is a full out attempt from them to try to restore him. And this is my opinion. We've seen certain quarterbacks come back from the dead when you that dude, like Drew Brees coming off a shoulder, right? Man, OC, what's your thoughts on that? And then I know Henny gonna want to punch me on that.
Yeah, I think that this is a layered conversation because it was so much that happened in Deshaun Watson's personal life that I think that with the injuries, it's taking like a psychological toll on him. So really, I mean, I think that psychologically is really the biggest thing. You know, outside of just general physical health, psychologically, where is he? Is he that same guy that he was in Houston? Right now, I'm going to say no. But he has been injured. And what I will say about an injured guy with a lot of talent, if he can be reasonably healthy, and I don't mean 100%, I mean 90%, the dude is still an elite athlete. The dude still is an elite arm talent. And if he can get a couple games together, you never know what could happen. We just hope it doesn't happen game one. But the thing is, this is game one. So that's what gives me a little bit caution because in game one, you typically see errors, bloopers, stuff that's uncommon that doesn't happen in the flow of a normal regular season. So that's why games like this, although it's not 50-50 to me, but with some mistakes, could turn into a 50-50 game.
Man, good analysis.
Because of all of his off-the-field issues, I think that's caused him to perhaps be a little bit more buttoned up in terms of just how he deals with the media than he used to be in Houston. I think he was probably... Which is
your point, OC? She was calling him guarded. Yeah, basically saying that he might be mentally off. Man, but y'all clap it up for this panel, man. This panel, boy, I be so impressed. Impressed, man, listening to these dudes talk ball.
Can I ask you a question, boss?
Yeah.
All right. So when Dak Prescott brother committed suicide and he had that on his mind, did he go out there and play like ass?
Okay. Dak.
Hold on. I got a laundry list of stuff. I
just want to answer your question because, like the OC said, that's a layered question you asked.
I'm just asking the question.
No, that's a good question. Let me answer it, and I'm gonna be short. I'm gonna be short. Itty
bitty pieces.
No, I'm with you. Your point is no excuses. I get what you're saying. What I'm saying. Hold on, real quick. Let me respond real quick. Dak is totally on another level of mental toughness. I don't see them even close. I don't see Dak close to almost anybody, to answer your question, in terms of mental toughness. To handle all the trash he got to go to be Dallas quarterback, ain't nobody close to Dak in terms of mental toughness, to answer your question.
Okay. Yeah, and you got to also... Well, you also got to go back, Henry, to your point about Dak Prescott, is that what did he deal with early on, like previous to his career, pretty much, his mom's death, right, of cancer. So you know, adversity makes tough men, or adversity makes cowards of men. And it just depends on that man, you know? And so I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson is in the coward category, but I will say
he ain't Dak.
These are things that... he's not Dak, but also here's the difference, is that the things that happened to Dak Prescott were surrounding his family primarily, externally, okay, and then injuries, which do happen to pretty much everybody that plays in the league more than a couple days, okay? But what happened to Deshaun Watson is of a very, very private, personal nature, right? That caused him to have to, settle and dish out sums of money, and it's relational. And so it's not just that. It's on a deeper level in the sense of this. It's not just does Deshaun trust others. It's does Deshaun Watson trust himself the way that he did when he was playing at a high level at the Texans? That is the big question. Does he trust himself?
Man, all right, so we don't got on players. We gonna flip it back to the coaches. All right. So now you was getting ready to beat up on Jim. Go ahead.
Jim Schwartz.
Yeah.
Man, first and foremost, I wanna say this. Jim Schwartz is a hater. Jim Schwartz is a hater. Like, him and Mike McCarthy had words before when they was in the same division, when this man was criticizing Mike McCarthy because he took his team ski shooting instead of practicing. Like, dog, you were the coach for the Lions. Y'all had like one winning season when you was over there. Mike McCarthy was coming up and winning a Super Bowl. You ever trying to critique some stuff. You should have took some notes, my boy. But anyway, like,
but hitting up with personal on these balls, man.
I'm just saying, but listen, man, like, Jim Schwartz defenses, man, I'm not concerned. Like, listen, we've seen Jim Schwartz with similar talent get 30 apiece by Dak Prescott.
Facts.
Let's keep it real. We seen similar talent on the Philadelphia Eagles that they had with the Browns, and Dak Prescott went out there. There was a 4-game streak where Dak Prescott went undefeated against Jim Schwartz defense. 4 games, like 4-game period. Last game in 2017, swept them in 2018, won the first game in 2019. The last game that Dak Prescott played against Jim Schwartz that he actually did good in, that Jim Schwartz defense showed up, Dak Prescott played through an AC joint injury. So he ain't beat Dak Prescott healthy for the most part when he was in Dallas. So I respect the personnel of the defense. I respect Myles Garrett, Za'Darius Smith, Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Emerson, Dale Pitt. Like, they got an all-star cast of names over there personnel-wise. But am I losing sleep over Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator? I am not. I am not. And especially this. Let me throw this little caveat because I am the numbers guy.
Okay.
They play cover 1 45% of the time. Do you know who is the most deadly quarterback in the National Football League against man coverage?
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott had the highest completion percentage in the National Football League against man coverage, and he had the second highest yards per attempt, 8.8. So Dak Prescott is damn near throwing a first down every time against man coverage. And they want to sit and play man coverage all game. That's why I said Dak Prescott is going to be the reason you win this game, because ain't nobody holding CeeDee Lamb one-on-one, and ain't nobody stopping Dak Prescott playing no damn man.
Y'all clap it up for Henny, man. What y'all doing up in here, man? Y'all clap it up for that boy Henny, man, coming up and bringing that that funk, huh?
You want to answer? You can't handle the truth.
So that's what you was keeping in your back pocket, huh, Henny? That's what you was keeping in your back pocket. When you look at, the analytics based on what you just said is a major, clear advantage for the Dallas Cowboys, despite the all-world corners they have.
And schematically too. Schematically, like, if you're playing man, and I'm running mesh, like how are you getting over top? Are you talking? What are you doing for mesh to try to dodge the picks? What are you doing in man coverage, and you can't cover CeeDee Lamb in the slot? Because that's hard to do, to try to cover somebody, double team somebody in the slot. And you got CeeDee Lamb, who was one of the premier route runners and playmakers in the National Football League. They're on an island with one of your defensive backs. Like, what schematically are they going to do different to stop what the Dallas Cowboys do from a schematical standpoint in this West Coast offense that is pretty much privileged on getting the ball out of Dak Prescott's hand, and these wide receivers win against man. Even guys like Brandon Cooks that I had some concerns about, like, that man is still a burner. So I feel good. Like, who's covering Jake Ferguson? Who's covering Jake Ferguson 1-on-1? Which one of these linebackers? Jock gonna run down the field with Jake Ferguson? Come on now.
I think that's a good possibility, to be honest, bro. Like, I'm gonna be all the way honest. But OC, you don't see no concerns, man. That boy Henny, man, that boy is drinking a whole cup full of Kool-Aid. You gonna just let him drink that in your face like that, brother?
Man, look, he got the gallon over there, man. He had the gallon. He's pouring some in his cup, before he made his last
I am
point.
drinking tea.
I know, I'm sorry,
That boy is
man.
drinking it up. Hey, man, though. Go ahead.
Well, the only thing that can really stop the Cowboys in this game is something that Jim Schwartz does do well is pressure. Right, the reason why he's in cover ones is because he wants people up to around the line of scrimmage so that he can call blitzes and that he can run pressure. So Jim Schwartz is as good as his defensive players' maturity and IQ is. I'll say that again. He's as good as his defensive players' maturity and IQ is. That guy right there is a problem. I don't care what day of the week you're playing against the Browns. That 95, that guy's a problem. And he's gonna be a problem. Yeah, he's gonna be a problem versus whoever. All right, that is a caveat. So do we block well? And that's the question. We have some young starting offensive linemen. Do we block well? Can we block up this, or do they figure out how to overload right on Terrence Steele, which is what I would do against the Cowboys, and I would try to make sure I get singles on Tyler Guyton. That's what I would do. I would try to make sure I run mesh blitzes, even B gap, double B gaps, so I could get singles on Connor Beebe. I can see what he got. He's a rookie. I don't care about you. If you're a rookie, you got to prove you the man. So I would do things like that if I was Jim Schwartz. I would do some exotic blitzing and see if I can generate pressure. And if he generates pressure, he'll have some success. But if he does not generate pressure, he's going to get carved up.
Yeah.
Right. And to add on to your point, it's not really a good idea to blitz Dak Prescott either. Like just historically, like Dak Prescott over these last couple of years has been one of the best quarterbacks against blitz because Dak Prescott's like a robot. He see pressure, he's going to the hot, he getting the ball out of his hand, and a lot of those guys that own the hot, they can get jiggy in open space. So
I'm gonna say Dak a robot.
Like for real, like Dak Prescott lives by that 2.3. Like Dak Prescott is almost teach tape. For real, he's almost teach tape for how you get through a pure progressive offense.
Ooh.
One, it ain't there. I'm out this motherfucker. We making something work. But Dak Prescott is not finna just sit there and take a sack 9 times out of 10.
That is so true, man. What you said. And see, I noticed that, and this is what I noticed.
It gets him in trouble sometimes too, but like for the most part,
not that much. Not that much.
Just sometimes. I'm not
like maybe once every 6 games.
Yeah.
That's how precise he is. And I just noticed something when I was watching Dak at Frisco OC. Dak looked super comfortable in this Texas coast, bro. He looked like what Henny just said. He's like a book on how to basically go through your progressions.
Mm-hmm. No, Dak is a bad man, and if you give Dak more than a year in the offense, which I think he's only had once in his career or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, because he's changed offenses like the last 4 years consecutively, if I'm not mistaken. So anytime he has more than 1 year in the offense, man, he's gonna get it down, and man, he's gonna be phenomenal. So CFT Ray, what's up, man? Hey, happy to have you guys in the building, man. Thanks for the support. Salute.
What's up, man? We got a special one, man. That boy Henny and her going absolutely dumb bananas crazy. And you got the OC. Y'all just making it so easy. I'm just sitting back just milking y'all for content. This is like easy. All I got to do is produce and push buttons. That's it. So let's get to the top. Unless y'all have some more on that.
No, you go ahead.
You good.
Henny.
What's up?
Kevin Stefanski. I don't know. Kevin versus Mike. My common sense easily says Mike. Just easily. Like, yeah, just in so many ways. Let me hear from you first, Henny. What's your thoughts in terms of the coaching differences? Oh, I'm sorry. We never graded. We never graded. So we graded advantage Dallas or versus when it was their OC versus our DC. Now we got our OC versus their DC. Who we going with?
I'm going with Dak. I'm going with Dak in the offense. Mike McCarthy.
No, we got to pick an OC. We got to pick an OC. You got to pick OC.
Listen, I'll call.
That boy say Dak. You could actually say that. You actually could with the way that they empower Dak. You actually could say that.
So listen, I say our OC over their DC. You know, just based on our personnel and just based on their tendencies, they're going to sit in man and let one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League against that coverage have his way. You know, I don't see what they're going to do from a schematical standpoint to actually stop us. Unless they come out here and their DBs completely shut down the Dallas Cowboys wide receivers one-on-one, I don't really see what they can do to slow us down.
OC.
Yeah, man, I would say take away Dak Prescott and they're even. That's what I would say. But edge to the Cowboys because we do have Dak Prescott. Right,
fair.
But if you just got shoddy, and versus Schwartz, and you don't have Dak Prescott, I say they even. I'm being honest. That's what I think.
Fair.
But edge Dallas Cowboys because of the much superior QB.
All right, head coach. OCU first. How do you see that?
Head coach.
Yeah,
man, you got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Super Bowl winning head coach. Multiple playoff victories. Better, record versus, a head coach that pretty much has been a 500 head coach since he's been with the Browns, and doesn't have the playoff experience, bravado, and the confidence of having built, managed, and coached successful teams into the playoffs. So the advantage here is easily the Dallas Cowboys.
That boy was concise with that.
Also, I would say the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, there's really ain't much to add to it. Like OC,
you could because I heard you go crazy in terms of breaking down Mike McCarthy's success record. I know if you dig down, I know it's in there.
Listen to me. And this is something that upsets me when people talk about Mike McCarthy. They never give him his just due about what actually he has done for the game of football, his impact, his modifications to the West Coast system. It's like people talk about Mike McCarthy like he is some hillbilly that don't know what the hell's going on, but he is a direct descendant from the Bill Walsh coaching tree, and they carry that West Coast offense to the modern era. They don't talk about that enough. Mike McCarthy has skins on the wall. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach. Like he mentioned. Like, why did Mike McCarthy not get any credit? All I hear about is the Shanahan coaching tree, and the Shanahans ain't won shit outside of the daddy. That's all I'm saying. Like Kyle Shanahan.
Wait, hold on. Wait. 1 second, bro. We gotta hit a button on that one, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead, bro.
I'm just saying, what have the Shanahan tree won for everybody to be on their tip like this, man? Like, folks be up here talking about Kyle Shanahan. He loses a Super Bowl every year. Is that an accomplishment? You got there and you folded. Your play call is why Dan Quinn is not a Super Bowl winning head coach. Your play calling is why the 49ers has lost the last 2 Super Bowls that they've been to. Your play calling is why you lost to the damn Rams and Matthew Stafford won the Super Bowl after 15,000 years. Like, you are the culprit. You were involved in all of that, but he skates free. Everybody that even sniffed his draws before, they want to run out and grab them and say they the next best coach. Like, what have these guys done besides win a playoff game here and lose?
Bringing real bad. He speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Mike McCarthy has been to multiple NFC Championship games. He won a Super Bowl. He beat Big Ben and the Steelers. Stop Big Ben from being a 3-time Super Bowl winning head quarterback. So why Mike McCarthy never get no love for the things that he's done with the West Coast system? That's like saying Folks out here, that's like folks lifting up Vince Carter and treating Michael Jordan like he ain't shit.
Bring a real back. He's speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Man, Mike McCarthy been calling West Coast systems and offenses, them boys within their pampers.
Finesse, 2 on.
Quit playing with Mike, man.
Bring a real back. He's speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Man, that boy Hitty came with the today, man. What got it to Hitty, man? Say, I told you. I said, I know it's in there, man. I heard you defend like no other Mike McCarthy, bro. Y'all guys, Henny, messed up. Oh, see, you still good?
Back, they want to go back to not making the playoffs with Jason Garrett and being 8-8, watching motherfuckers clap on the sideline. That's what they want.
So what it sounds like we saying with no Kool-Aid is that the Dallas Cowboys had a coaching edge across the board.
Yeah, I mean, we continue to digress into more position groups, but pretty much, on the main components of this, yes. And to answer Henny's question, to give more context, the reason why Mike McCarthy doesn't get the credit that he probably deserves for a lot of his success is because of his temperament. It's just his temperament. He's a guy that's quiet, that's really unassuming, that doesn't care about getting interviews or attention, or even you congratulating him for his accomplishments. He does everything with quietness and grace. That's him, but he's always thinking and he always has a plan. And so that's why he hadn't got a lot of just due for a lot of the things he's done. Howbeit, historically speaking, and even currently, Mike McCarthy has proven out to be a very high-end, I would even venture to say, elite coach.
Yeah. You got the resume to be a Hall of Famer. If listen, like if Mike Tomlin can live off his one Super Bowl and miss the play and lose playoff games in the first rounds and live happily, like why Mike McCarthy got to be the one? Yeah, why Mike McCarthy got to be the one on chopping block? Is that the case?
Yeah. So I agree, and I don't think it's Kool-Aid. I think everyone has made a fair case on why we had a coaching edge, and I would say we definitely had a coaching edge. So I ain't gonna try to force this show no more than what it is, man. We can go ahead and, unless y'all had anything else, man, we gonna give our final words. I will say, man, make sure y'all go check out some of these videos, man, that we've been pushing out over here at Boss Cowboy Sports. Also, keep in mind, tomorrow we will be doing a breakdown similar to this. Big Game James and Star will be in tomorrow, and we will be discussing the matchup portions of Game 1. So we've already covered the danger of the Browns, and I did that Monday. Now we covered the coaches. Then we go break it down and finish it out with the key matchups where we breaking it all the way down. Then we go watch these boys play. All right, but make sure y'all go back and check out these other videos too, man. I think they some very good videos that I think do a really good job of kind of explaining exactly where we are, especially with the saga with Dak. Now, let me just go ahead and, before we give our final words, what's y'all thoughts on Dak real quick before we close out? Start with you, OC.
Yeah, man, Dak Prescott, man, is a top 3 quarterback in this entire league, and so Dak Prescott's gonna come out here on a mission, unsigned, playing on a 1-year deal, and he's gonna let it hang, man. And he's gonna throw this ball all around the football field and probably throw for 350 to 400 yards this first game. Mark my words. He's probably going to end up throwing for 350 to 400 yards this game just to prove a point. He's highly irritated and he's highly motivated at the same time with a newborn child and family and without a long-term secure bag at this point with the Dallas Cowboys. So this works all in favor of great performances out of Dak Prescott with the limelight, the pressure, and uncertainty around him. Actually, that's when he's at his best. So I'm looking forward to see what he does.
Let me go next. You know what I think getting ready to happen, bro? I'm keeping it real before we give our final words. No. I think my boy finna do this. He finna go crazy, bro. Dak is finna go crazy, bro. I'm just letting everybody know Dak is getting ready to go crazy. Like, going into year 2, and like the OC said, being pissed.
Go crazy.
That's gonna be Dak, y'all. The whole year too. Dak is getting ready to go crazy, and a lot of people not saying it. This is gonna be Dak's best year. Mark it. This is gonna be Dak's best year. Mark it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's on you here.
Man, I agree with everything you said, but in regard to the Dak Prescott situation on the contract, I think the Dallas Cowboys have already butchered this. I'm just going to pray that something comes down the pipeline. But if the Dallas Cowboys do not reach a contract with Dak Prescott before the season is over, Dak Prescott will hit the open market as an all-pro quarterback. He might have another all-pro season this year. So Dak Prescott will hit the open market as an all-pro quarterback that won't turn 32 until the start of training camp next year. Dak Prescott will be the most sought-after, highly coveted free agent in the last, I don't know how many decades. Might be ever, outside of Tom Brady. So guess what? If you letting Dak Prescott hit in the open market is like the husband that opens up the marriage with his wife. He thinks everything is cool until he ain't got nobody in the DMs and she getting passed around town like a hockey sack. So I tell you what, keep playing with Dak Prescott. Man, keep playing with Dak Prescott. Man, what?
That's a hard pass.
They going dumb with him.
That's a hard pass. That's a hockey puck. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. I digress.
They going crazy with that man old lady playing games like that. You thought she couldn't do no better. I'm just saying, man. Quit playing with Dak Prescott before y'all have Trey Lance out here starting the next 2-3 years, man.
Oh Lord, man, don't even say that, bro. All right, so we give our final words, man. I kick it off, man. Good show. That's the only thing I'm gonna say, man. Good show, man. You guys, honestly, man, y'all make it easy. Y'all just make it. Literally, all I got to do is turn it on. The way that I can trust that the OC and Henny is always prepared. I think I feel a lot better, honestly, about the game just listening to y'all. Just to be all the way honest, because I didn't know what y'all was gonna talk about. We just kind of said we was gonna talk about the coaches, and we turned it on. But like breaking it down the way that I heard you guys break it down, I just don't see how, as a Cowboy fan, we shouldn't feel better about the matchups that we have from the top, right? The chess players. So my final word is, man, I feel better even after this show than I did going into the show. And it's clear to me that we had a coaching edge. That's my final word.
All right. My final word is this, man. Dallas Cowboys win by 10 points. Final score, I predicting 30-20. I believe Deshaun Watson will have 2 turnovers that will lead to 10 points directly for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think they get a late touchdown to make it look a little bit better than it actually is. But I do believe that we get to Deshaun Watson, we hit him. He actually was sacked 37 times in the 12 games he's played since he's been there. So he averaging about he gets sacked about 3 times a game, and a lot of them be on Deshaun Watson trying to do too much in the pocket. So I think that trend continues. I don't think that he hits the ground running in this overtly complicated offense, nor do I think that him and his receivers get on the same page with his limited involvement in practice in the offseason. That man been rehabbing. He hasn't really practiced much throwing the football. So I got the Dallas Cowboys by 10, man. And that's my final word.
Yeah, man. So my final word about this is that the Cowboys should win this game going away anywhere in the range of 8 to 14 points. I do believe that Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns come out swinging. They're going to give their best punch between the first and the second quarter. But if the Cowboys can manage to get any type of lead in this game, and I do mean like 7 to 10 points, then the Browns will become discouraged. The only hope for the Browns in this game is to generate significant pressure on Dak Prescott and make him throw the ball before he wants to, and the hope that we have defensive lapses. If those two things don't happen, they will not win this football game. But it'll be a fun watch because it'll be the kickoff game of the season, man. So that's my final word.